Welcome to our Memorial Day services 2021. It's nice to see all of your smiling faces and not having to look at a mask. So for those who don't know, my name is Roseanne Triumphi Mazzucchelli. I'm the Veteran Service Officer for the town of Winthrop. Along with American Legion Post 146 and the town of Winthrop, we welcome you to our ceremony, where we remember those who either died on the battlefield or those of us who came home and died from their wounds, both visible and invisible. So right now I'm going to introduce our exalted ruler for Winthrop Elks, Miss Jane Howell. Jane, thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne. Good morning, everyone, and I welcome you all. Thank you for coming. Our mission for the Lodge of Elks is not only to serve our community, children, and young adults, but to help care for our veterans. As long as there are veterans, the Elks will never forget them. I would like to invite you all back to the Elks Lodge for refreshments after the ceremony. We are at 191 Washington Street. So without further ado, we will get started with today's program. I'd like to invite Emily Rodriguez and Anna Roseo to guide us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Winthrop, order, arm. Parade, rest.
I'm going to introduce Tina Marie Talvey, who will lead us in the national anthem. Tina?
Winthrop, attend, hoot. And salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Parade, rest.
Absolutely beautiful, Tina. Thank you. I'm going to introduce David Kennedy for the invocation.
Thank you. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, in your hands are the living and the dead. We give you thanks for all those our comrades who have laid down their lives in the service of our country. May they rest in peace. May the light perpetual shine upon them. May the good work of seeking justice for the oppressed and peace for all mankind be rewarded with success. that their sacrifices shall not have been in vain. And may we never fail to remember the awesome cost, the freedom that we enjoy. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you very much, David. I have greetings from the Commonwealth with Mr. Representative Jeffrey Turco.
Thank you very much. President Boncory, Senator Boncory, members of the Winthrop Town Council, organizers of this solemn event, fellow citizens. Dr. Joseph Warren was one of the great leaders of the American Revolution. He was a member of the Sons of Liberty and was unanimously elected president of the Massachusetts Congress. He was killed at the age of 34 at the Battle of Bunker Hill. He inspired the militia of Massachusetts to resist the British forces with words which have become a challenge to each succeeding generation. Our country is in danger, he said, but not to be despaired of. On you depend the fortunes of America. You are to decide the important questions upon which rests the happiness and the liberty of millions yet unborn. Act worthy of yourselves. Act worthy of yourselves. A call to arms by a man of privilege, a Harvard-educated physician who gave his life so we could be free. Joseph Warren and 4,434 other colonists became the first of over 1.1 million American soldiers who acted worthy of themselves by making the supreme sacrifice. Beginning with the War of 1812 and continuing today through the global war on terror, these brave men and women, again, more than 1.1 million American soldiers, acted worthy of themselves so they could decide the important question upon which rests the happiness and liberty of millions yet unborn. We are free today because of their sacrifice. They killed Nazism, fascism, and communism, and gave large portions of the world the chance to be free. Staggering sacrifices by citizens young and old, no different than the many who stand here today. Many commemorated with their names enshrined in granite on the grounds of our town hall. Many also commemorated with signs of honor on various street corners. I urge you to remember their sacrifices, not just today, Memorial Day, but every day as you walk around, bike around, or drive around our beautiful town. Take a moment to reflect on the sacrifices of Winthrop's own, the Belchers, the Biggios, the Whites, the Counterways, the Pignatos, the McNeils, McCrae, Brugmans, and so many others listed on that granite. Years ago, I heard the story of one brave soldier, which I'd like to share with you. A young man named Martin Treptow, who was a barber by trade, and he left behind his home, his family, and his business to fight for freedom in France in 1917. He was killed while carrying messages between American battalions. He carried with him a diary, which included in his own handwriting something called My Pledge. And he said, America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We stand here in remembrance of these brave soldiers as a free people because men like Martin Treptow and 1.1 million others acted worthy of themselves and made the supreme sacrifice. May God bless each of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, we now have greetings from the Commonwealth with our State Senator, Joseph Boncory.
Thank you, Exalted Ruler, and thanks to the Elks. Special thanks to Mr. Honan and Rose, and really to the American Legion in Winthrop, the Town Council in Winthrop. I'm so proud to represent a community that holds the morals and standards that Winthrop does to come together on a day like today in solemn remembrance of those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I want to especially thank the boys and girls of the Boy Scouts and local Brownies who've come here today, and their parents, and the parents of all the young men and women here today, who have showed their children today by their presence how important important a day is like today. Today, as spring turns to summer, we, along with Americans across this great country, usually take off the day to enjoy families and friends. But Memorial Day is so much more. It's an opportunity for us to reflect together on those that we have lost. Today, in many ways, is more difficult. No one of us has not been touched by the COVID-19 pandemic. So we come here to be together after spending a whole year or so much time apart from our loved ones. And many of us have lost loved ones and lost friends and families to this virus. So this year, perhaps more earnestly than ever, we get a feeling of what personal sacrifice means for the safety of the greater good. But those that we honor today on Memorial Day, and the Gold Star families we come around together to grieve with, they know what that loss is, what that sacrifice means. Sometimes sacrificing our own wants for the betterment of this country takes more than just an average man or woman can do. So we take a moment today to stand with those families and let them know that their loss was not in vain, and that freedom isn't free. And freedom takes, as the Korean Memorial says, generations of men and women to go to distant lands, to defend countries they never knew and people that they never met. We come here today to remember that freedom has never known a better friend than the American soldier, airman, Coast Guardsman, or Marine. Those who have gave their lives for their safety of our country are among those we honor on Memorial Day today. And today we go further. We honor those amongst our community, frontline healthcare workers, teachers, the men and women of the Winthrop Police Department who have delivered vaccines and helped guide us out of this pandemic. Today we remember the National Guardsmen who stood up field hospitals and worked tirelessly with public safety officials to distribute personal protective equipment. So you see, our country is made stronger by the way we care for one another through hardships and times of adversity. Today our hearts are heavy. Our hearts are heavy for the loss of the veterans of the Holyoke and Chelsea Soldiers Home. And we reflect on what we can do more to remember them. And what we can do more as a community is come around their families. What myself can do more as a legislature is ensure that never happens again. And I'm proud to serve in a legislature, and we should all be proud of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that leads a nation in the delivery of veteran services and services to families who've lost loved ones. I'm proud to serve with Jeffrey Turco, a representative who's just joined the legislature, but has made veteran services his top priority, and taking votes in this budget and around the Soldiers Field home to ensure that tragic loss never happens again. So for them, let us remember today, and let us remember every day. And for the love and memories of those we have lost and live on, God bless the heroes we have always known. God bless the heroes we know today. And may God continue to bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Senator. Now we have, now we have greetings from the town of Winthrop. Philip Boncory, Town Council President.
Just be like the Lion King on the mountaintop.
Can anybody hear me? That's what happens when you let the big shots talk too long. I also would like to welcome you all to our annual town services for Memorial Day. on behalf of the town council.
I saw it.
And I'd like to introduce the members of the town council that are here today. Would you please stand up? Vice President Peter Christopher, Councilor Rich Farino, Councilor Rob DeMarco, Councilor Steve Ruggiero, and Councilor, where are you? Jim Lettieri. Thank you, Jim. As we honor our fallen veterans, we must also remember to honor all our lost ones. Memorial Day has changed from Decoration Day. It's when it was first recognized on May 30th, 1868. And that was the day that General John Logan gave his order recognizing Decoration Day, which now has become Memorial Day as of 1971. General Logan, and you're soon to hear his order given by former Councilor Linda Calla, was a congressman who went off to fight the war. He got so involved in the Civil War that he became enamored of the people that were passing away, that were getting killed in the war. And he fought to start Memorial Day. He continued that fight after the war. He became a congressman and served in both the House and the United States Senate. And throughout his lifetime, he fought for making sure that Memorial Day was always going to be withheld. And it's held. Since 1868, we've had Memorial Day. In World War I, Memorial Day became more significant again, and there was a gentleman who was a lieutenant colonel in World War I by the name of Joel McCrae. And John McCrae wrote a poem called In Flanders Fields. And in Flanders Fields, the poem was written from the perspective of the dead soldier who was lying under the poppies in Flanders Fields. And just a small quote from that poem. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived. We felt the dawn. We saw the sunset. We loved. We were loved. And now we lie in Flanders Field. And that poem became a symbol of what had happened and how we should honor our veterans and our deceased veterans. That Flanders Field was covered with poppies, and they laid beneath the poppies. But the last words of that poem, the dead soldier asked that we pick up the torch and carry forward the fight for freedom. And that fight for freedom has been carried forward by people like Rose Mazzacella and Richard Honan and the American Legion. And there's so many other veterans organizations that picked up after that Flanders Field by a woman by the name of Moyna Mitchell. And Moyna was a person who wrote a poem called We Shall Keep the Faith. And that poem talks about picking up that torch that was left at Flanders Field and going forward to honor everybody. She started the Poppy program that so many veterans organizations have now. They've kept that going for many years. I believe the last ones that adopted that Poppy program were the veterans of foreign wars. But they keep it going, and that red poppy is a symbol of Memorial Day and keeping the faith with people who've passed away. In 2000, Congress passed a legislation to make a national moment of remembrance. And that national moment of remembrance is to take place every Memorial Day at 3 p.m. So if you're anywhere at 3 p.m., please take a moment of silence to yourself and bow your head in respect and in honor of those who have gone before us. And just say, God bless them. God bless them for giving us the freedoms that we have. Thank you all for being attentive. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless Winthrop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, Linda Callow will now do Logan's honor for us. Linda?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Richard and Rose, for having me read this proclamation again this year. This has been my 16th year this year. John A. Logan's Memorial Day Order, Headquarters, Grand Army of the Republic, General Orders Number 11, Washington, D.C., May 5th, 1868. The 30th day of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observation, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but post and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized comrades, as our regulations tell us, for the purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kind and fraternal feelings which have bound together the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who united to suppress the late rebellion. What can aid more than to assure this result than cherishing tenderly the memory of our heroic dead who made their breasts a barricade between our country and its foes. Their soldiers' lives were the reveille of freedom to erase in chains, and their deaths the tattoo of rebellious tyranny in arms. We should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. All that the consecrated wealth and taste of the nation can add to their adornment and security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of her slain defenders. Let no wanton foot tread rudely on such hallowed ground. Let pleasant paths invite the coming and going of reverend visitors and fond mourners. Let no vandalism of avarice or neglect, no ravages of time, testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of a free and undivided republic. If other eyes grow dull, other hands slack, and other hearts cold in solemn trust, ours shall keep it well as long as the light and warmth of life remain to us. Let us then, at the time appointed, gather around their sacred remains and garland the passionless mounds above them with the choicest flowers of springtime. Let us raise above them the dear old flag they saved from dishonor. Let us in this solemn presence renew our pledges to aid and assist those whom they have left among us a sacred charge upon a nation's gratitude, the soldiers and sailors, widow and orphan. It is the purpose of the Commander-in-Chief to inaugurate this observance with the hope that it will be kept up from year to year while a survivor of the war remains to honor the memory of his departed comrades. He earnestly desires the public press to lend its friendly aid in bringing to the notice of comrades in all parts of the country in time for simultaneous compliance therewith. Department commanders will use efforts to make this order effective. By order of John A. Logan, Commander-in-Chief, and N.P. Chipman, Adjutant General. And I would just like to say, for all the men and women who have died for our freedom, thank you. And for all the men and women who are fighting for our freedom and safety, thank you, be safe, and hurry home.
Thank you, Linda. I would now like to introduce Lorraine Farmer, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. Lorraine.
Sorry. Good morning to the citizens of Winthrop and those visiting our little town. I'm happy to see so many children here this morning, here that joined their parents this morning for this solemn occasion. First of all, I would like to offer a welcome and a congratulations to Jerry Torco, who is our newly elected state representative in the Massachusetts House of Representatives. I'd also like to welcome State Senator Joseph Boncory and Council President Philip Boncory. I especially would like to thank the Winthrop's American Legion Post 146 organizing this service, and Richard Honan for the honor of speaking here, for making me the honor speaking here today. Okay. I come from a family of military veterans. My dad served in World War I. My brother and my husband both served in the Navy in World War II. Thankfully, they all came home safely. Also, I served in Korea, in the Korean War as a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. Very proudly, I may add. But today is not about my family or any of us here today. Today we gather together to honor those who did not return, the brave men and women who died in defense of this great country. Perhaps they had a mom, a dad, sister, or brothers, a wife, a husband, and children. Many of them could have been engaged to be married after the war. Sadly, it was not to be. My brother and my husband both served in the Navy in the greatest generation. In World War II, there were over 405 American military personnel killed in the war. Over 600,000 were critically wounded. Let us pause, look back for a moment and wonder what these brave men and women may have accomplished had they survived the war. Let us honor also all those men and women who died in all wars defending this great country. Honor them for their bravery, for they gave the supreme sacrifice. Honor all who gave their lives while protecting your life, my life, and the life of all countless other Americans. They gave us freedom to worship, freedom to vote for whomever we choose, freedom of speech, yes, as I stand up here talking to you today, the right and the freedom to disagree without malice. In essence, they gave their lives so that we could live in freedom. Today is not a happy day for those who lost a loved one. So I ask all of you, please take the time and remember those who did not come home. All gave some, but some gave all. Thank you, and God bless America.
This is the star that flew on an American flag at Deer Island. You are the first recipient for this star. This is on behalf of Rich Honan, myself, Post 146. So on the back, on the front is a picture of you and Richard. On the back is just something that I wrote, 2 pocket poems, and hopefully this is something you'll hang and remember us by. We appreciate you being here. You are a mentor. You are an inspiration to all these young girls out here that they can do it. They can do it. And we are so proud to have you. We were honored to have you as our principal speaker this year. Yes, you got it.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm so humbled and shocked. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of now you got me shaking. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Tina Talvey in singing "God Bless America."
Please join with me. God bless America, lands that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Boys, ready?
We should do the greatest first.
We invite the Emblem Club. We invite the Emblem Club, Ladies Club, number 15, to place a wreath upon our grave. Kindly direct your attention to the ladies in red. Thank you, ladies. They've been with us all weekend. Yesterday we had a couple of events, and they were with us the whole time, and we so appreciate it. Thank you. Now we will... Yes.
Okay, go ahead. They're going to place a wreath.
They're good.
The Elks do.
Now the Elks, oops. And now the Elks will join the Emblem Club in placing a wreath as well. Thank you, Winthrop Elks. As Americans, we've fought and been involved with many, many wars. I'm just going to highlight a few of them that we fought in with the help of my Boy Scouts and the Missile Men. Boys, you ready? The Revolutionary War. The War of 1812. The Mexican-American War. The American Civil War. The Spanish-American War. World War I. World War II. The Korean War. The Vietnam War. The Gulf War. The war in Afghanistan. The Iraq War. The War on Terror, which we are still fighting today. Thank you, Scouts. I appreciate it. With us now, is Town Manager and Police Chief Terry Delahanty. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you, and everyone welcome. I want to thank all our veterans and certainly our police officers and firefighters that we include in the services. Today I think it's important to remember what the true meaning of today is. And I think it's really important to remember the mental health issues our soldiers and law enforcement and firefighters deal with after their service and during their service. So please support them and recognizing those mental health issues and continuing to find ways to treat them and making sure that they're not isolated in their troubles. And then the assistance that we can give as a community, we should surround those in need and embrace those moments. Thank you.
And now Post 146 will honor us.
Fire. 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 Treason. Arm.
Winthrop, attend! Who? Treason, arm! Winthrop, order, arm. Parade, rest.
Honor guard, parade, rest.
Thank you. Now we invite Tina one more time before we conclude our services.
Please sing with me. Oh, beautiful for the spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountains, majesties of all the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from the sea to shining sea.
I want to thank everybody for being here today. This concludes our services. I want to remind you that the Elks is hosting a luncheon. All of you are invited. I hope you all join us. It'd be nice to see everybody. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to my brothers and sisters, the American Legion Post 146. I, as the Veteran Service Officer of the town of Winthrop, could not do these events without them. So I honor and appreciate them. Yesterday we had some beautiful ceremonies as well, and they were there through it all. I also want to thank the Winthrop Fire Department, Police Department. Special thanks goes out to Captain Mike Lopez, Sergeant Romero, Patrolman Andy Biggio, for responding to something to help a veteran in need the other day who is getting the help that he needs. And we need to keep all our veterans who are suffering from those invisible wounds of war in our prayers, our thoughts. I'm grateful to Peg Lyons for always being there to help my veterans and place them in safe homes at Winthrop Housing. I'm grateful and thankful to the Winthrop DPW for always keeping our cemeteries clean. And this year we had the help of a young man named Colin Peterson who went around and was cleaning the graves. I want to thank you Misselman for being here. The Scouts, both girls and boys, you always come through. My setup and cleanup crew, which are the Scouts, my family, a young man named Nicholas, and all those who helped. I want to thank my partner in crime, Richard Honan, for all that he does to remember our veterans. And again, I want to thank Marine Sergeant Lorraine Farmer for being our speaker today. Finally, as you go along for the rest of the day, kind of take a moment to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice of either on the battlefield or here at home. Keep them in your thoughts, in your prayers, and reach out if necessary. If you need flags for your loved ones' graves, please reach out. I'll be in the office. And that's it. Thanks. Have a great rest of the day. Love you, Matt.
Winthrop, attend.